So can you tell me what you know about gamification?
Well, in short, gamification is the use of game for non-gaming activities such as tasks in order to engage and encourage more participation. So it's the use of game mechanics and also experience design so that we can digitally engage and also motivate people in order to achieve certain goals, which in this case is the company's goal.
If I'm not mistaken, it's been implemented by many companies in the e-commerce industry. With everything done online, I think it makes more sense that they add something new and different to their platform.
Do you know around what time has Indonesian companies been implementing or using gamification in their companies?
I think it gained popularity around 2015 and 2016 when Indonesia's e-commerce industry was growing rapidly.
Oh wow, but even so, I think gamification has been around since the 1970s. And however, it just started gaining popularity and also importance in the last decade.
Well, that goes a long way back. Gamification has been around for quite some time then. I guess that explains how there's a lot of ways to incorporate gamification within a company.
That's true. That's true. And actually, in relation to leveraging consumer engagement, gamification can be classified into two types. The first one called the intrinsic motivation technique, where basically the games are designed to give a genuine sense of enjoyment when people play the games. So let's take a look at an example of the intrinsic motivation technique for gamification.
So we are now going to play a game from Line, which is called Line Face Play game. So Sheila, I will call you right now. And insert it, Sheila. Okay.
Which game should we play?
I think we should play this one. Wait, let me start. Yeah, hit. It is called Hit the Neon.
Okay, I will say.
Okay, let's play.
Should we like move our head according to the arrow like
Yep.
this? What if there is a eye symbol?
Maybe we should blink, I guess. Who knows? Try it. Wait, I'm on a combo streak.
If there is a mouth symbol, then we should open our mouth like that.
Perhaps. Who knows? I mean, like, we're competing.
I think
Is
I
it
will
done?
win.
Is it done?
Yes. No.
Oh, there is still more. When will this end?
I think there is 3 rounds for this game.
Oh, who will win?
Me.
Oh, I won! Okay.
Whoa, we can see in the example that the line faceplay feature is created to allow a more exciting experience for its users to communicate through video call. Instead of a plain video call, they can actually have more fun because they can battle each other using facial expressions and movements.
I agree, especially with the surge in the number of video calls made due to being used for various purposes like chatting with our friends or just casually talking with them. I think that the feature adds more value. So let's move on to the second type of the gamification technique, which is the extrinsic motivation technique. Basically, games in the extrinsic motivation technique are played due to its function, which is to gain rewards or obtain rewards. So now let's look at an example played by Sheila.
Now I'm heading to the My Shopee apps to play the Goyang Shopee games. I will directly start the Goyang Shopee. The screen shows tell me to shake my phone left and right repeatedly, so I will just shake it like this. Let's see how much coin I got from shaking it like this. Oh wow! Not bad.
So what do you think of the game?
Well, I think Goyang Shopee is quite unique because it attracts customers because when they play, they get coins. The coins can then be used to purchase items in Shopee. Even Indonesia's Shopee director said that it's very successful. It's been played for more than 500 million times, which also helped Shopee to get the biggest increase in number of visitors compared to the other e-commerce competitors.
I think that shows how gamification holds such a great potential, especially when it is utilized correctly in terms of consumer engagement.
I guess for e-commerce platforms, a gamification success depends on whether or not there's a reward.
Absolutely. Especially, it can actually be an effective way to launch new promotions or also encourage people to do more purchases through giving discounts.
That's true. And I think because we're done with explaining what gamification is, we can hand this over to our friends that played earlier in the games to discuss the second section, which is the pros and cons of gamification.
So which one should we discuss first, the pros or the cons?
I think let's go with the con first, since we were talking about what if the user gets bored.
Okay, alright. For me, in my opinion, the first con would be that the users could get bored easily. I mean, like when we play for so long, I believe that we will get bored, especially when the game itself uses an extrinsic motivation, meaning like the game will not reward us anything.
I think it is easier to engage the customer engagement through giving them incentive like offering rewards when they play games. Not only that, creating a games is not an easy task. A company cannot just create games in one night. It's not like you snapping your fingers and suddenly a successful game is created.
Yeah, you're right. You're very right. For the second con, it would be for their developing costs. Don't you think so?
Yes, of course, because game development takes a longer time to develop compared to the traditional games. Not only that, to ensure that the games is fun and not boring, each phase of the design is processed. And alternatives such as everything from the start, like explaining the concept to the stakeholder, then create a storyboard, then create the design, and then developing and testing, all of this needs to be carefully planned and also executed.
Yeah, like what the games that we played earlier, I think that they use advanced graphics and also animation. I mean, like the way we play, when we move our heads, like the game can detect our face, and with those advanced graphics and animation, it will result in more additional costs in terms of money and also time. Don't you think so?
Yes, of course. I think all of this relates to the difficulty of creating a good design. And as you know, creating a good design is not easy because when you make games or activities like that, you want to make sure that the games is effective or not. Ineffective gamification can result in a bad impression of the company.
Yeah, if you have a bad impression, it will create a long-lasting bad reviews.
Of
But
course.
however, from the game that we play, I think that the game runs very smoothly. I mean, like there is no bugs, no lags. I mean, like it is exciting and it delivers a clear message. In my opinion, gamification for a company can be a double-edged sword in terms of the company itself.
I agree with that. And move to the next cons, which is the execution difficulty of gamification.
With poor execution, it will make consumers and also users have less interest with the game itself and also our company. It means like when your design value doesn't match with your consumer value, it will and doesn't deliver the clear message toward the consumer. So there is zero in interest value for the consumers.
Yeah, so basically it's just result in waste of money, loss of audience, and bad impression towards the company. So next, we are going to talk about the pros of the gamification.
And so for the pros, I think there are four main things that we should highlight. The first one is that with a good, proper gamification, it can engage customer interest.
Right, games and activities make more meaningful experience for the user compared when you just scrolling down or just clicking next.
And one of the example is like Shopee.
Yeah.
Shopee can attract new users with their games like Shopee Tanam, Shopee Goyang, and also Shopee Candy. And the way they attract new users is by letting the users to invite new players so that they can be a part of the game.
With that being said, I guess that gamification can also allow the companies to make a measurable engagement through seeing who's handling their informations, who's sharing their social media, and who's redeeming their rewards on the games and many more.
So what is the second pro then?
For me, gamification clearly brings a competitive and playful elements, especially toward business marketing strategy. When there was no fun before, now there is fun. And for example, we can see from the Instagram filter feature in Instagram, and let's try the Instagram filter right now. It's really cool to see that a platform previously used only to post picture and video can now be used as a place to play as well.
With that said, another pro would be it could help marketers to innovate and also improve their product and also service system. Another example would be the Nike Plus application. Basically, Nike Plus allows the users to know how much mileage did you run and also how much calories that did you burn and also the location that you run. With the collection of data, it could help Nike itself to create a new product range and also it could help Nike formulate their digital tactics for the future.
Now that we have already the 3 pro and cons list each, let's move to the next point, which is what should business do?
So there are 4 things that businesses should do before adopting the gamification strategy within its company. The first one is to define the firm's goal, objective, and audience. Having an understanding of what the firms are trying to achieve and convey within its game is very important as it shapes the decision made for both its game contents and the elements. Moreover, knowing the audience is also necessary to create a game that suits to the market preference and expectation. In other words, the firm should not let that fun idea to become a runaway train from what the customers really need. The second one is to keep up with the customer's expectation. It is undeniable that having an effective marketing strategy should correspond with the customer's expectation. And nowadays, customers demand a more innovative, catchy, and technology-related marketing to be in the spotlight. And it is also important to actually realize that the traditional marketing could be both expensive and also time-consuming. And here is where the gamification could be more than handy, cutting down on both regular expenses and turnaround time.
Indeed, though the development of the gamification itself might be costly, but still, its benefit gives firm a higher return on investment. A fun, interesting, and engaging game could cultivate change in the player's behavior, cultivate a good conversion rates, repeat sales orders, and also increase the organic social shares. And at the same time, actually the gamification could be the future of the marketing strategy. Hence, investing in the gamification might help the business to stay in the game.
The third one is shift towards digital marketing. COVID-19 has put an importance on digital and technological transformation, especially digital marketing. The unprecedented and almost disappearance of all channels related to live events, conferences, and face-to-face business poses an enormous challenge. Therefore, firms are forced to be more familiar with digitalization as it answers the world's needs. With IT being the competitive field, the needs of UI and UX design service to catch customers' attention and revenue from companies' product are being more crucial. Therefore, firms will need to step by step comply with the new changes, starting from creating a good user interfaces and towards digital campaigns. The fourth and the final one is to foster creativity and innovation. The fast-driven economy favors companies that can be flexible, think fast, and adapt to changes. Companies now need to find smarter ways to keep the interest of their customers. Here, the role of creativity and innovation takes place. Business creativity helps the discovery of new unique ideas to keep their users interested and motivated, which is a vital business to the business success. The companies should understand the importance of growing and nurturing creative talents, which is a skill that can be developed but cannot be imposed. Thus, creating the right environment to promote creativity in workplace and encourage a non-traditional way in problem solving. However, it does not necessarily mean to change the whole organization system.